Hello everyone, welcome to Vidhigya Explained series. The topic for today's discussion is fundamental duties. So why this topic was in news? Because a petition has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking the enforcement of fundamental duties under the Indian Constitution through comprehensive and well-defined laws. So what is the need? So because of this, it was in the news. So we'll discuss all the relevant information related to fundamental duty. So why there is need for fundamental duty? Enforcement of fundamental duties are there. Why there is need for enforcement of fundamental duty? So the need to enforce fundamental duty arises due to a new illegal trend of protest by protester in the garb of freedom of speech and expression by way of blocking of road and rail routes in order to compel the government to meet the demand. So it says the enforcement of fundamental duties is important because currently the protesters, the new trend of protest has started in which the protester tried to block the roads or railway tracks to meet the demand to ensure that the government agrees or fulfills their demand. So this is why it is important that fundamental duties must be enforced. So now about fundamental duties. So first thing you have to remember the original constitution, that the constitution that was adopted in 1950, the constitution of 1950 did not contain provisions related to fundamental duties. So original constitution does not have provisions related to fundamental duties. This section was added through 42nd amendment. So here it is first thing through 42nd amendment on the recommendation of Sardar Saran Singh committee. So this is the second information. And then in the 42nd amendment, 10 fundamental duties were added later in 2002 by 86th constitutional amendment. Another fundamental duty added. So total became 11. So currently there are 11 fundamental duties. So you have to remember there are 42nd amendment, 86th constitutional amendment, Sardar Saran Singh committee. Original constitution did not have provision for fundamental duty, and also from where this idea of fundamental duties came from. So the idea of this section was borrowed from USSR constitution. So the idea of fundamental duties borrowed from USSR constitution, that the former Soviet Republic. And like fundamental duties like DPSP are non-justiciable. Non-justiciable means cannot be enforced in the court of law. Cannot be enforced in the court of law. So significance of fundamental duties. So there are 11 fundamental duties that you need to remember. So significance, they serve as a reminder to the citizen that while enjoying their fundamental right, they should also be conscious of duties they owe to their country, their society, and to fellow citizens. To ensure that, to tell them that fundamental duties and fundamental rights are there, and you are not there to only fundamental rights, but it has your responsibility also to ensure that you follow the fundamental duties as a citizen of the country, as a member of the society, and as a fellow citizen. So now they serve as a warning against the anti-national and anti-social activity. Second, they serve as a source of inspiration for citizens and promote a sense of discipline and commitment among them. They create a feeling that the citizens are no mere spectators, but active participation in the realization of national goals. So this is why. So why fundamental duties are criticized? They are made non-justiciable. So though there are provisions like by making law, fundamental duties can be enforced, but the Constitution does not provide any legal provisions which makes them justiciable. So under the Constitution, these are not justiciable. However, Parliament by law can enforce these fundamental duties. So first criticism, non-justiciable. Important duties such as tax paying, family planning, etc. are not covered. Third, vague and ambiguous provisions are there which are difficult to be understood by common man. For superfluous provisions, since they would generally be followed even if they were not included. There are such provisions like upholding the unity, integrity, and territory of India, cherishing noble ideals of India. So these are something to article. The scholar says that there are some fundamental duties which anyway citizens will follow. So these are superfluous. So, and fifth, inclusion as an appendage to the Constitution reduces the value and intent behind. So it was later added, therefore added as an appendage, and not it was present in the original Constitution. Therefore, it says that by making it as an appendage, it has reduced the value of the fundamental duties has reduced. So we have discussed about why this topic was in news, why there is need, and then we have discussed about the original Constitution. There was no fundamental duties. Then 42nd Amendment, then 86th Amendment, 10 fundamental duties, 1 fundamental duty, Sardar Saran Singh committee borrowed from USSR. And fifth information you have to remember, non-justiciable, though by law, Parliament by law can enforce them. For example, Parliament by law can enforce the fundamental duties. So now we'll discuss 5 important questions that can come related to this topic. Question number 1. One more thing I like to tell about that fundamental duties under part 4A of the Constitution. So part 3 is related to fundamental rights. Part 4 related to DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy, and Part 4A related to fundamental duties. So now first question, Part 4 of the Constitution deal with which of the following? Your option: fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSP, none of the above. The correct option is Part 4A, fundamental duties. This is Part 3, this is Part 4, and this is Part 4A. Question number 3, are fundamental duties part of original Constitution? Your option: yes or no. The correct option is no. It was later added in 1976 by 42nd Amendment. Question number 3, which of the following amendment inserted the fundamental duties? Sorry. So your options are 42nd Amendment, 44th, 45th, none of the above. So the correct option is 42nd Amendment in the year 1976. Question number 4. Indian Constitution has how many fundamental duties? Your option are 8, 9, 10, 11. And the correct option is 11. So by 42nd Amendment, 10, and then later one more added. So which of the following amendment, question number 5, last question, which of the following amendment added the 11th fundamental duty? Your option 86, 85, 87, none of the above. The correct option is 86th Amendment, and it was in 2002. So there are 10 plus 1. So that's all for this session. Stay logical with Vidhigya, your best pal in CLAT Preps.